So did I make a mistake buying my dream car, which is an 11-year-old car with 50,000 miles on it? Well, today we're gonna get a PPI done on it, even though I already bought the car. PPI stands for pre-purchase inspection. So they'll reveal everything that might be wrong with the car or is upcoming, and they'll pay to have it fixed. Look at this sunset behind me. Holy cow, does this car look good. That's such a good backdrop right now. Rev's pretty high. Rev's pretty high. And now that we're on a smooth, like not back road, it's a pretty smooth ride too. And then of course, downshifting. Oh man. Such a beautiful day out too, and it's nice that the roads aren't as covered in salt as they normally are. It's a fun car. It's a fun car. We'll do a quick rundown because I've talked about it in shorts before of what the edition one gets you. This is a one of 380 first edition AMG C63Ss. To begin with, you get these red stripes around the wheels, red brake calipers, which is pretty standard. And then over here in front, you get this red strip around the grille, which from a distance, you know, gives it a little flair. Maybe it looks like I put it in there myself, but nope. If you know what you're looking for, or if you know cars, then you know what this means. It also comes with this red stripe on the mirror caps, and then this stripe that runs along the side of the car. So from a distance, put all those things together, looks pretty good. This paint job is also specific to the first edition. Then if we go inside, also, look how nice this tint is. You'll notice we got a pretty tricked out interior. I mean, these seats look like they're from a 2025 model. They're pretty sweet. You get the red seat belts with the edition one. You get red stitching all throughout the cabin and on the doors. You get this steering wheel with the red center cap. And then down here on the bottom of the steering wheel, you get the edition one badge. So pretty cool. There's more red on the dash and red stitching all throughout the cabin. And then the main thing, let me move this cup, is you get this beautiful red, right now it looks brown, but they call it red pepper carbon fiber center dashboard. There's the watch in the middle. So I'll put that back up, put my cup inside there. And then you'll notice the back seat also has the same stitching, same red seat belt. So pretty good collector car. This was the only car of the first edition AMG C63Ss, which is already historic in of itself, given that it's got the hand-built bi-turbo V8. It was the first one in 3 years that came up for sale and was a clean Carfax, wasn't damaged, super good maintenance record, so that's why I don't think this inspection is going to be a big deal. It was a one-owner lease buyback, so that was a pretty good upside too. He did all of his routine Mercedes maintenance on time, if not early, so he was pretty particular, if not OCD about this stuff. We got the dual panel sunroof, which right now we got that beautiful sunset behind us. So I just detailed the car and wow, does it look really good compared to when all that salt was on it before. But let's take a look at the wheels. I'm gonna go drop them off. I'm going to drop them off right now to have them redone. And you can see that they don't look great. So my biggest debate was going back to OEM or doing a blacked out kind of look. I honestly think on the Cadillac, it's gonna look a lot better to keep the OEM look and go back to either OEM or like this brushed aluminum with black accents. So step on a little bit, you can hear it. It's so good. 640 pound-feet of torque. It's got the 5.4 twin turbo V8 in it, hand built. So I've been daily driving the Cadillac Blackwing, and there's a reason that this is probably my favorite car that I've ever had. And a lot of it has to do with the 550 horsepower that this car makes. It's all-wheel drive focused. You can see right now we're getting about 16.4 miles per gallon. But it's just something about having the performance, but also at the same time having all of the technology and the luxury in the car that it does have. It just all comes together to make a super fun driving experience. And yeah.
Are you in like a C63?
I am in a CT6V going to get my C63.
I want to come.
The reason for the mic in the trunk is the interior of this car is so well sound dampened that it helps to get a little more raw feedback, because just in here with the camera, you're not really going to be hearing it all that much. I really haven't found anything wrong with the car other than sometimes when I go to get out and the car's off, this screen will stay on and then my phone will like connect to it. Sometimes the trunk won't open and I have to go inside and like manually open it, but speaking of the trunk, pretty good space. Yeah, that's fine. Other than that, the only problem I really have is that the rear tires don't really hook up in the middle of, you know, February winter here in Minnesota, especially when it's 30 degrees out and there's a lot of salt on the road. But other than that, it's a pretty fun car to commute in. So here you see the effects of daily driving. This as a winter car versus the new AMG C63S. I would call this a summer car. Definitely looks a lot cleaner, but today we're gonna mess that up a little bit and take it to the park and film some cool cinematics with it and take some photos of it. But it's also on the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S's, so pretty good summer tire. Not really an ideal 30-degree day out winter Minnesota driving day, but I can't help it. I want to drive the car, so this bad boy actually needs a car wash, but maybe we'll do that after we're done here. And then you can see these wheels hopefully will get redone on Monday and get rid of all the peeling and damage that's been done to them, so should look really good. Yep, so you can see why I wanted to bring it here. I think we actually do need to get out of the way of other people trying to get on and off the lake though, so the car shows up very, very good in kind of all angles. Look at that. Look at that paint. This paint is exclusive to the Edition 1. So we'll see right now we're averaging 12 miles per gallon. We've gone about 5 miles. At least we have a pretty view. So probably my favorite place to take a car for photos and videos, and I would take it on the lake, but given the rear wheel drive, summer tires, low clearance in the front, I really don't think I'm gonna make it down this hill. Either A, gonna get stuck on all this ice, definitely not making over that. Oh yeah, you need a 4-wheel drive car for this. Would have been pretty cool to do a car review video on the lake, but probably not this car. Okay, so it's the next morning. We're gonna drop it off at Eurotech. They're gonna inspect it, so let's go inside. When it got here, it was really, really cold out. The car was really cold. The screen won't turn on, and then sometimes when I lock it and walk away, my phone will connect to it as if the screen's on, but the car's locked. And then last night, when I was driving at home, the screen just turned off completely.
That would probably take a little further diagnosis.
Okay.
If you want us to look further into that.
No, just do what you guys normally do.
Okay.
That's cool,
We'll
yeah.
do the pre-purchase inspection.
So it's the next day, and it sounds like I hit the jackpot on this car for buying it sight unseen. The car essentially had no problems other than the hood struts could use replacement, and it's due for its B&H service. It doesn't surprise me because there was a gap in the Carfax. Overall, pretty happy. It's a home run for buying a car sight unseen, no PPI done, and shipping it across the country. Doesn't get much better than that. The tires at some point soon will need replacement, but they still have over 30 seconds left on them, maybe even 6 on the back. I figure I might as well drive it, and who knows if the new owner is gonna want winter tires or some sort of summer performance tire like what's on them right now. My lesson in this is it's probably smarter to do a PPI before you buy a car, sight unseen, and the dealer did a very good job of listing the vehicle, describing it, and communicating, and I'd asked if anything was wrong with the car, and he said no. So there we go. And then we did also get the wheels done. The wheels are back. So it probably doesn't look like much of a difference, but these look really good. There's no damage on them. They're very smooth. You can see it's like this gray on the outside and then this black, darker gray on the inside. So for a Cadillac, I think it looks really good. Black would have just been too overpowering and I don't think fits the car very well. So the grand totals for those services was $1,000 for the Cadillac wheels, $200 to get the Mercedes inspected, and then about another $400 if I want to do the B&H service, which I absolutely will. So the lesson in this is maybe you don't need to buy brand new wheels. If you like the design but don't like the color, you can have them grinded and repainted or refinished. It averages out to about $250, $300 per wheel, depending where you live. So kind of an interesting tactic if you want to save some money. So yeah, that's it. Pretty successful week. Nothing too crazy, just some maintenance and day in the life stuff, but got to drive the cars and that was really fun. So I think I'll make more videos of that. Putting the mic in the trunk turned out pretty good. So as always, I'm continuing my search to buy more cars, so stay tuned for what we have next.